つか気づくでしょ
Frank Gray here with the National Real Estate Post. For today's show, I did an interview with Carl White that I'm going to hand you off to, and it's all about converting online leads. I think that we all struggle with it. Everybody has lead gen systems. Listing Booster, a great one. Zillow, Boomtown, whatever you use in Realtor.com. The problem is converting those things, and that's because we're just not doing them right. We're not thinking about these things the right way. I think this interview is insightful. If you are doing any type of online lead gen and having any sort of problem with conversion, this is a good show for you to watch. So with that, I'm just going to hand it off to the interview, and you guys have a great weekend. We'll catch you here Monday. See ya.
Carl White, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, brother. Love the topic we're going to talk about.
I do too, because we deal with this all the time, and we're just going to jump right into the meat and potatoes of this little conversation here. And that is, everybody struggles with online lead conversion. Everybody, it's easy to get leads in. There's so many systems. I'm going to brag about mine, Listing Booster, right? My system. I mean, we've got people that are generating 20,000 leads a year, ridiculous numbers, 4,000 leads a month, even 500 leads a month. Absolutely ridiculous numbers, right? But then what winds up happening, and this isn't only with Listing Booster, this is with any of these online lead gen products. We hear it all the time, they're getting all these leads in, they become a little too much to handle. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing between the loan officer and the real estate agent. The next thing you know, nobody's converting anything. And everybody gets frustrated saying these leads are no good. They don't convert. But I think that there's just a different way of handling these compared to what our mindset is. And I know you've got some opinions about this. Tell me what your thoughts are.
So, dude, I tell you, so there's like really some breaking news on these online lead conversions. So the issue that everybody's having, Frank, isn't how do we get online leads? You can, Listing Booster, probably nothing better than that for doing that. Zillow leads, Boomtown leads, Facebook ads, right? Everybody's talking about how they can get these leads. The problem people are having is how do you convert it?
Right.
And the problem that we're finding, Frank, and I know you and I have talked about this, is people are taking the new technology of getting leads, Listing Booster, Zillow, Boomtown, and then they're marrying it with the old way of converting.
Yeah,
right?
it's like when we're used to getting a referral. Right. And so said for me to call you. Oh, yes, I'm ready to talk to you now. And we expect, that conversation to, turn into a deal or a pre-qual or something like that. And we're applying that sort of mental concept to the stream of incoming leads that these systems are generating. And it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all, Frank. And so it's not that the leads aren't good. It's when somebody clicks on an online opt-in form or give me more information for, they're expecting, we've taught them on a computer to expect immediate results. And the problem people are having, the loan officers are having, and real estate agents, is they're waiting an hour, 2 hours, or let's be honest, a day, 2 days before they get back to the lead. And the lead has no memory whatsoever of ever opting in. It's like, stop spamming me. So then when the loan officer, the real estate agent does follow up on these leads an hour, 2 hours, a day, 2 days later, they're getting beat up by the leads because the leads go, I don't know who you are. Stop bugging me.
Yeah, you get the nasty, what is this? What is that?
And then
leave me alone.
And then you get beat down and you don't want to follow up on the lead anymore.
Exactly.
And you're going, I don't want to call these people anymore.
Right.
And so there's several of them on the market right now, but there's these conversion tools.
Right.
That as soon as somebody opts in, what happens is automatically they get a voicemail in your voice, Frank, or whoever's,
the user's voice. Yeah.
Yeah, the user's voice. They get a voicemail dumped on their voicemail of the lead's voicemail like 3 minutes later.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Carl, you called and you put in information looking about that mortgage. You put in the information looking about that house. Sorry, I missed you. Please call me back at 555-1212. And they get that message like 3 minutes later after they opt in, so it's fresh in their mind. So now the only time the loan officer or the real estate agent is talking with that lead now is when that lead calls back to them and says, yeah, now's a good time to talk about that mortgage. Now's a good time to talk about
that. So the way to deal with these is you definitely, if your online lead gen system doesn't have an auto responsive drip system built in, then you have to plug your online lead system into one of these external products that specializes in this follow-up process, and that's really the only way that you can do it. You have to do it that way, especially since the products that are generating the leads, like Listing Booster. I mean, it's ridiculous to come in and find, oh, I've got 74 leads today. You know, you're not going to call them. You know, you have to. We have to build a machine, is what has to happen. We have to look at it completely different. It is this when you're dealing with online leads, you have to enter in the world of the digital machine, and you have to have both parts, and they have to connect and talk to each other. You have to have the lead gen machine talking to the grinding machine that just goes through all those things on a consistent long-term basis until stuff falls out of the bottom and into your lap, and people saying, hey, yeah, I'd like to talk to you. That's what you need.
That's exactly what we're talking about here. And these machines, because you have a machine creating the lead, Listing Booster, Boomtown, Zillow, Facebook ad, but now you're hooking a horse and buggy to convert that lead, and it just doesn't work.
Right.
And so on these automated systems that are out now, is they leave a voicemail 3 minutes after they opt in. And then if they don't call back, then it leaves a text message to them 10 minutes later. Hey, I just left you a voicemail. Is now a good time to chat?
It does all the work.
And then an email later. And so now the only contact the loan officer and real estate agent having is these incoming phone calls now from these people saying, yeah, now's a good time. And you know, Frank, we've done a webinar where we're gonna talk for I think it's like a solid 45 minutes on how to create these online machines and these conversion tools.
How to connect them.
It's really killer, man. It's some really good information. Without this information, I'm telling you, man, it's very, very difficult because the problem is when you're taking an app on the phone and then a lead comes in through your automated system, dude, you have to wait 30, 45 minutes because you're taking an app or you're showing a house.
Right.
You don't have time to.
You can't respond. And then if you're getting one after the other, and then you don't know what the disposition of the lead is going to be. Let's be honest. Most of them are just looky-loos, clicking buttons, looking at a property. They're not necessarily like, I'm ready to buy. Can't wait to hear back from that person. But they are looking at stuff, and they are viable people. So they need to go into a machine and let that machine filter those things out for you is the way that has to go down. So this ongoing webinar series, you guys talk about this, and you guys got the tools to help.
Yeah, and we'll show you some of the things that we're using, but it's really good. I know this is running a little long, but just last thing, because see the problem, Frank, is like Zillow is telling the real estate agents, hey, buy these leads, but don't you call them, get the loan officer to call them.
Right.
And the loan officer gets that same call from Zillow, hey, loan officer, buy these leads, give a value add to the realtor, but don't you call them, have the realtor call. Nobody's calling the leads.
Nobody's calling the lead.
This totally solves that problem.
And then the funny thing too is I mean, Zillow runs into the same problem as well. You know, and they charge a lot of money for these leads, right? Nothing is reasonable as Listing Booster, not even close. But what they do is they get the calls in from the real estate agents too, or when they're trying to renew the agent or the loan officer, they go, dude, man, I'm paying all this money. I'm not getting squat out of this thing. I'm not even getting the leads, or if I do, they're not converting. So then Zillow even took it upon themselves. If you remember this, we did a show on it where Zillow goes, oh, don't worry. Just give us all the money and we'll get all the leads, and then we'll call it, or they put it through they probably have a machine, right? That's running these leads through a machine until something falls out, and they go, oh, here you go. Something fell out of my machine here, and I'm going to hand it off to you. Why spend all that money? Why do all that stuff? You do it yourself. I don't know. Online lead conversion, it's a new beast. It's a different animal. We cannot marry new way lead gen with old school, conversion. It just doesn't work.
Two different animals.
Completely two different animals.
It's like getting a Ferrari and then hooking up a horse to pull that Ferrari. It just doesn't work.
It's not the same, and we have different methods.
But Frank, just my last thing here, I want to say, these are good leads. Listing Booster, killer stuff. Zillow, Boomtown, they're all good leads. The follow-up is what's been missing on. And so anyway, we talk about this.
That's how it is. Yeah, that's how it is. So I don't know. Yeah. And anyway, I love it. You can't marry new new age lead gen with old school conversion. You still work that system. You still get those leads in from your realtor partners, your referrals, and all that. And you work that the old fashioned way, but on the new way, you got to work it the new way. And there's a lot of business in it the new way too. Just real fit. I know we're long and I don't care. It's Friday. It's Friday, guys. We're going a little long. So what? Let's talk about this. If you get these machines linked together, what kind of conversion rate do you guys see on the?
Dude, it's killer. So what happens is like with Boomtown and Listing Booster and Facebook ads, as soon as a person opt in, you don't have to put them in the system. Like it marries automatically.
Right.
I would say on the low average, we're seeing about a 37% conversation, like people
conversation.
I want to hear more about it.
Right.
Yeah. So I'd say 37's on the very low, and we're seeing it as high as like 70%, probably average, this off the top of my head, 50, 60% is what we're seeing. So if you get 100 leads, you're having 60 conversations of incoming, calling, texting you. Yeah, now's a good time to talk.
And then, of course, I mean, okay, that doesn't mean you're going to get 60 deals. Out of that, hey, you might get...
Well, no, because some's going to be qualified, some's not going to be qualified.
Yeah, some aren't real, some are just, whatever. So you're going to get 3 or 4, a dozen, I don't know.
I would say
10, whatever.
Yeah, we're not seeing many not real, because the not real ones don't reply back to the voicemail. They don't reply back to the text and the email. So no, I would say they're real, just some qualified, some not, like any other lead. So they're converting just fine, actually. It's impressive. It's impressive.
All right. Well, we've gone way too long, but happy Friday, happy weekend to you guys. Don't the banner's up for Carl's ongoing webinar series on this. I really recommend you take a look at it, especially if you feel at all like you're having trouble with this online lead gen conversion thing.
Be honest.
You know what I mean? Like everybody. You know what I mean? Fix it. You know what I mean? Don't quit something. Fix it.
Yes.
Do it the right way. Plug the right systems together, and now make some money. With these products that you're spending money on. So with that, we'll go ahead and get out of here. Leave us your comments, forward, share, subscribe, click the banner, go to Carl's webinar. We'll catch you guys later here at the National Real Estate Post.